Poison the Well is an experimental hardcore band from Miami, Florida who were last signed to Ferret Music. In 2010, they announced a hiatus to explore other interests. Guitarist Ryan Primack and drummer Chris Hornbrook were the only remaining founding members, although vocalist Jeffrey Moreira featured on all 5 of their full-length albums. History Formation, debut EP in the opposite of December. The band were originally named An Acre Lost, and was started by singer Ariel Lira and guitarist Ryan Primack. During their first few years, the band had 2 vocalists, Lira and Dwayne Jane. With this lineup, the band recorded the material for their first proper release, a split with South Florida band Promise No Tomorrow. After this album, the band changed their name to Poison the Well, after the popular rhetorical device. The band then released their first album under their new name, Distance Only Makes the Heart Grow Fonder, in 1998. The album gained them the attention of Trust Kill Records, who signed them to a multi-album deal. After Lira and Jane exited the band, Jeffrey Moreira came in to fulfill vocal duties and remained with the band until their breakup. With this solidified lineup, the band released The Opposite of December. A Season of Separation in 1999. Music magazine, Guitar World, cited The Opposite of December to be one of the greatest hardcore albums of all time in a 2006 issue. Tear from the Red. Tear from the Red was a transitional record for Poison the Well. Moving away from the traditional metalcore sound that they had helped establish and created with The Opposite of December, the band moved into more straightforward songwriting with more melody and more of an overall rock sound. Tear from the Red was recorded in 6 weeks at Studio 13 in Pompano Beach, Florida for $6,000. The band had wanted to make a record that had more melody but still could be extremely heavy at the same time. After the record was completed, the band started a rigorous tour cycle that took them all over the US and Canada. They toured with many bands including Hatebreed, Kitty, Killswitch Engage, Unearth, and 18 Visions. You Come Before You. The success of Tear from the Red and their continuous touring schedule helped Poison the Well gain the attention of some major labels, which had started to take interest in bands coming from the hardcore scene. The band signed with Atlantic Records in 2002 and started writing for their third studio album, You Come Before You. Poison the Well wanted to continue the evolution of their sound and felt that they needed a team of people who understood where they were going and what they wanted to do. They recorded with Swedish producers Pelle Henriksen and Eskil Paragraph VSTRA Paragraph M. Both had worked on many influential mid to late 90s Swedish hardcore records, including Refused Songs to Fan the Flames of Discontent and The Shape of Punk to Come. The band first recorded in Van Nuys, California at Sound City Studios and completed the rest at Tontonik Recording AB in Umeå igen, Sweden. After the record was complete, the band started a 1.5-year tour cycle that took them to Japan, Australia, New Zealand, and Europe. Towards the end, many of the band members were worn out and unsure if they wanted to continue with Poison the Well. Versions. Having experienced some level of success with their previous record, You Come Before You, a long and hard touring cycle left certain members of the band disenchanted. In the summer of 2004, guitarist Derek Miller quit the band. Miller had been in Poison the Well for all 3 prior releases and was a major part of the writing process. Poison the Well had been in the middle of pre-production for an entire record's worth of material when Miller announced his departure. This material would eventually get scrapped due to the overall unhappiness with the direction he had taken the band. The remaining 3 members took some time to figure out what they wanted to do. They eventually regrouped, added guitarist Jason Boyer to replace Miller, and started working on new musical ideas that would be the early stages of their 4th studio album, Versions. After months of working and writing material, the band set off in early 2005 to work and record with Pelle Henriksen and Eskil Paragraph VSTRA Paragraph M at Tontonik Studios in Umeå igen, Sweden. This would be the first session out of 3 that the band would record for Versions and what would eventually become I3/23/33 in 2009. They had worked with Henriksen and Le Paragraphe VSTRA Paragraph M on You Come Before You and had been also working with them on follow-up material when Derek Miller had quit. The band felt that Henriksen and Le Paragraphe VSTRA Paragraph M were perfect for producing and capturing this new direction and sound they were creating and moving towards. After completing the first 2 recording sessions and returning home, Poison the Well announced that they were parting ways with Atlantic Records after only 1 album because of creative differences. Atlantic Records had given full creative control with the writing and recording of You Come Before You, not interfering and allowing the band to do what they pleased. But, after not seeing eye to eye on the direction Poison the Well had decided to move, Atlantic agreed to let the band go. Even though the band had no label, they returned to writing material for the 3rd and final session. The band had been in contact with Ferret Music president Carl Severson about signing with the label. Severson had been friends and a fan of the band for many years and expressed interest in signing them. After signing at the end of 2006, the band left once again for Sweden to finish up the record. 4 Versions was released on Ferret Music on April 2, 2007 in Europe and April 3, 2007 worldwide. On February 22, 2007 they began touring in support of the album. The Tropic Rot and Hiatus. The writing process for the Tropic Rot started a few weeks after Poison the Well finished up the touring cycle for Versions. The band wanted to make a record that was more focused musically and bigger sonically. Poison the Well wrote the entire record in 4.5 months in a condemned and haunted bar in West Palm Beach, Florida. The Tropic Rot had originally been slated to be made with producer Jay Robbins, but had to be cancelled due to a serious family emergency. Steve Ovitz was picked among other potential producers the band thought could capture the record the way they wanted it and could start as soon as possible. The record was recorded at Castle Oaks Production and the Candy Shop Studios and was released on July 7, 2009 through Ferret Music. The album charted at number 180 in its first week of release on the Billboard 200. While on the first stop of their September 2009 tour with Billy Talent, Poison the Well was robbed at a tour stop in Detroit. As the band was asleep in their hotel, thieves drove off with their van and trailer containing all of their musical gear, band merchandise, and a majority of their personal possessions and clothes. After taking a few days off to get a new van and obtain some temporary gear, the band quickly produced and began selling T-shirts to raise money and buy new equipment, with the shirts containing a detailed description of all musical gear stolen including guitar and amplifier serial numbers. On July 14, 2010, Poison the Well announced that they are going on hiatus to explore other interests. Since then, drummer Chris Hornbrook has been doing session work as well as drumming for LA-based dance electronic band Big Black Delta and New Jersey punk/hardcore band, Senses Fail. As well, Ryan Primack has still been involved with music, working with his former bandmate Derek Miller's band, Sleigh Bells as their production manager and second live guitar player. Rise Records released a reissue of The Opposite of December and Tear from the Red in late 2012. In May 2015, Poison the Well reformed for 2 reunion shows, a headlining show on May 15 in New York, and a festival performance at the Skate and Surf on May 17 in New Jersey. For these shows, the band performed as Ryan Primack, Chris Hornbrook, Jeffrey Moreira, Bradley Grace and the new hired guitar player, Ariel Arrow of the defunct Florida band Glacita. At the New York performance, former Poison the Well members Andrew Abramovitz and Dwayne Ogene were in attendance, and former guitarist Derek Miller joined the band for an encore performance of Ghost Chant. After the 2 May shows, the band members stated that further performances or a new album from Poison the Well were not planned, though not ruled out. Members Reunion lineup Ryan Primack lead guitar, Chris Hornbrook drums, Jeffrey Moreira lead vocals, Bradley Grace bass, guitars. Touring members Ariel Arrow rhythm guitar. Former members Ariel Lira lead vocals, Andrew Abramovitz bass, Geronimo Gomez bass, Shane Halpin co-lead vocals, Russ Saunders rhythm guitar, Jose Martinez a Euro rhythm guitar, Derek Miller a Euro rhythm guitar, Dwayne Ogene a Euro co-lead vocals, Alan Landsman a Euro bass, Ian O'Dovey a Euro bass, Steve Lukather a Euro rhythm guitar, Jeff Bergman a Euro bass, Jason Boyer a Euro rhythm guitar, Brad Clifford a Euro rhythm guitar, Ben Brown a Euro bass, Javier Van Huss a Euro bass. Timeline. Discography. Studio albums extended plays singles music videos Notes. References. External links, official MySpace page, Poison the Well article July 2009, Metal Underground, interview, Lords of Metal, interview.